2011, that's when the Chrysler 300 came out with this generation. Seems like forever ago. I was still in college. I mean, that's getting pretty old at this point. 485 horsepower and 475 pound-feet of torque with this 6.4 liter Hemi V8. Rear wheel drive only. Now, this feels like a relic. It almost feels like an homage to the 60s muscle cars. And with the V8 getting canceled, the Chrysler 300 getting canceled, especially this 300C, it is a bit sad, but I'm very honored to be able to review this car before it's canceled. It kind of reminds me of the Mazda 6. That was a couple years ago and I reviewed that. That was the last model year before they killed it off. And I have similar feelings here, especially with the V8 being canceled after the 2023 model year. But should you be getting your investment in on this vehicle for around $56,000 before they're no longer available? Today we're going to talk about that. That's a beautiful 4Runner there. That thing looked mint. It had the gold badges. The 300C with the 6.4 liter sits atop the stack, no surprise. You can actually get the 5.7 liter, and your fuel economy is not actually going to get much better with the 5.7 liter. I'm getting, well, I drove this to Miami. I am back yesterday, and so I was getting about maybe 22, 23 on the highway. I'm averaging 21, which that most of my driving is obviously in the highway. I'm pretty much on empty. So I drove this once to take my kids to school. I drove it once to get some B-roll, and then I drove it to Miami and back, and it needs to be filled up again, getting about 21 miles per gallon. And that's like best case scenario. Now, one of the things I do like about this setup is that it will drop down to 4 cylinders and get like 30 miles per gallon on the highway. But if you're like right now, actually it dropped down to 4 cylinders because I'm babying it behind this 4Runner in front of me. And that like doubles your fuel economy. So, you know, I don't know what it does for longevity of the engine and durability, but hey, it's great to have that built-in fuel savings feature to this by running on half the cylinders. You can still get the V6 in the Chrysler 300. I think it's a 3.6 liter with almost 300 horsepower. To me, why would you do that? Why even get it? Like this vehicle, the only reason I would be getting it is to get the 5.7 or the 6.4 Hemi V8s because they're going to be discontinued. V6s will continue to live on for a long time, and no one's behind me, so I'm just going to come to a stop here. We're not going to do a 0 to 60, but I just want to give you guys the V8 experience. I love how it did the burnout. I was probably about half pedal down when it was just starting out there, and it just, you know, rear wheel drive V8, it's a thing of beauty. It feels like as American as apple pie, and that's why you would drop $50,000+ on this. So let's talk about the exterior. Is there anything special with this top of the line? Well, the front end is a little bit more aggressive. You get that red, white, and blue 300C badge on the front. I love the 20-inch wheels. I think they look good here with the matte finish, and then you have the red Brembo brakes on the inside. On the back, I don't really think there's anything too unique to this compared to the other models, except, you know, the amazing V8 snarl. On the inside, we get carbon fiber. Heck yeah, I'll take that over glossy piano black. It would have been nice to have it on the trimmings on the dash and the doors. Unfortunately, that's the glossy black. This touchscreen, you guys might probably throw it under the bus. I haven't really enjoyed it. It's probably around an 8 or 9 inch screen. It's very easy to get to. I feel like it doesn't collect fingerprints that terribly. And yeah, it's great, even though it's kind of on the smaller end compared to today's standards. One thing about this interior that drives me crazy is the rotary dial. For V8, of course I would want a manual if I had a choice, but you know, the only way you can get like a V8 manual is in maybe the Mustang or the Challenger, for example. I know there's other ways you can get it, but you can't get it here, and that would have been awesome to have that optional. But instead we have the 8-speed ZF transmission, which is fantastic in here. I just wish we had a little bit more connection to the engine, to the transmission, instead of this ridiculous rotary dial gear select. I do have paddle shifters here. They are very small. They're really only on like maybe 2 finger widths is how small they are. And it's not that rewarding and engaging to play with, in my opinion. Yeah, it does the shifts just fine. They're a little bit slow. You just don't get any pops, bangs, or anything rambunctious going on when you play with the paddle shifters. There's a little bit of gurgling, but not as much as I want. So it just sounds really good, but it doesn't have that wild character that I would expect. It's a little bit too refined, maybe a little bit too luxurious, as we are in a luxury sedan. So speaking of luxury, let's go on the inside. What kind of features do I have here? Well, I have a heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated seats. I have a clock. Yes, a true analog clock. I was in a Maserati yesterday that costs 3-4 times more than this, and that's a digital clock. I like that. This feels far more premium to me than a digital clock. The seats are a bit ugly. The bolstering might be a little bit too tight for my legs, but they are fairly comfy. I don't have any main complaints about them because I was in here for 4 or 5 hours yesterday, taking it to Miami and back. So I think the comfort's good enough in here. You know, you have a little suede on the inside of the doors. Unfortunately, we don't have it on the headliner like we see on some of the Hellcat products in the Dodge lineup. Let's see here. I do like the simplicity of the rotary dials, the volume, the fan speed knob here. Like the dash is soft touch. I like the stitching in here. So it might look old, but old is functional, and I really don't have anything in here that's annoying me. So well done, Chrysler. I think your basic design was good, and the inclusion of carbon fiber really makes it feel pretty premium in here. The cup holders in here are heated and cooled, which is pretty nice. We'll get into our brakes here because of the Mercedes in front of us. It feels pretty heavy, but I feel like it's very predictable to stop it. Yes, yes, yes. It's, you know, the fact that I have 21 miles per gallon is due to necessity, because I had to get back from Miami. There's not a lot of gas stations in between, and I wanted to see what kind of fuel economy I could get in best case scenario. But yeah, I haven't been pedaled down just because I needed to make the gas tank last the whole week, because, you know, if I can avoid putting gas in a pressed car, I will. So that's I haven't been getting pedaled down, and it is extremely addictive hearing that guttural V8 rev out and feeling that torque, that acceleration. So the pavement here is quite bad. I'm not going to get heavy into the gas, otherwise I'd do a unintentional donut. Okay, car transports. What, one Mitsubishi Mirage on top of that? Yeah, I you know, 56,000 for this is probably worth it, because what else? What, like, you could spend $60,000+, $66,000 to get an IS 500 that has a beautiful V8 as well. It actually doesn't sound as good as this one, in my opinion. I like what Dodge has done, Chrysler's done. Again, I wish it was a little bit more rambunctious, but it sounds a little bit more wild man compared to the Lexus IS 500's V8. You really have to do some modifications to the exhaust to get the true pleasure out of that. What else is in this segment? TLX Type S, I just got a refresh, but that's a 4-cylinder. So it's like apples to oranges. There's really nothing. I mean, you have the Genesis products with a turbo 4-cylinders and twin turbo V6. There's just not a lot out there. That will ever give you that sort of satisfaction. So I do believe it's worth the money. And if you don't feel like you need this much power, you can still get a beautiful 5.7 liter V8 Hemi and save a little bit of cash along the way. So guys, long live the Hemi, long live the Chrysler 300, especially the 6.4 liter variant. I'm very, very happy here. I actually do think it's worth the money. There's no cracks or rattles going on. I feel like it's a well-built car. I know you guys will love to challenge that in the comments below, but there's nothing in this car that upsets me, annoys me, brings a smile to my face. Like, maybe the gas the gas mileage, the fuel economy in here is just terrible, but that's, you know, the trade-off for getting this. God, that 8-speed is fast as hell. And it, you know, oh man, the downshifts are really, really quick. Holy cow. So automatic, fantastic. The V8 is paired to it beautifully, and it's kind of a sleeper car. Except for people who know what you're packing or hear that rumble. I was in Culver's yesterday, and through the drive-through coming back from Miami, I was hungry, went through Culver's, wanted a burger, and one of the employees there, he's like, dude, can I get a rev? I'm like, hell yeah, you can get a rev. So, you know, it does command presence, especially when it's idling. That's the thing, the 4-cylinder, you know, gas-saving method never is when you're idling at a stop. You always have that gurgle, that deep V8 sound. So anyways, love the Chrysler 300C. I'll see you guys down below. Smash the like button if you enjoyed today's video. If not for my video for the Hemi V8 and American muscle cars. Long live the American muscle car powered by the naturally aspirated V8 or supercharged V8, as you know, we know Dodge has the Hellcat, and Ford and Chevy have their own supercharged V8s as well. I think I'm gonna run out of gas before I get home. I'll see you guys in the next one.